Hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Not too bad. Hey, last time I saw you, you and your husband were down in Fort Lauderdale, and you were coaching with Team Iowa, and he was working the tables. How was your experience coaching this last year?
It was great. I really enjoyed it, especially because the last time that I was down in Florida was me wrestling at the same tournament. So it was great to go. And now I'm getting to coach these girls and just see how many more teams are there, and just see how far we've developed just overall as a country in wrestling.
Oh yeah, it's crazy how much bigger that tournament is.
Mhm.
From one, I don't remember how many teams, maybe 16 teams those first few
Yeah.
years we were down there to, I think there was 20 some progressive teams this year. So the developing people even, and then 20 some of the others. So that was really fun. What was it like to coach with two other female coaches, Sam and Allie? I know Allie stepped away and took pictures a lot, but you were with Sam a lot. Well, how was coaching with two female coaches?
I really liked it. That was my first time really getting to coach with other female um, coaches in wrestling. And I really liked it because I think we looked at it a lot of the same as we had been down there and wrestled before. And now we're getting to coach girls that are wrestling down there. And so I really enjoyed it. I like coaching with guys, but I would say I almost kind of liked it better with the girls. I thought we got along better. We just kind of clicked a little bit easier.
Yeah. Any cool moments from the team that you can recall right off the top of your head?
Um,
I mean, you guys did very well.
yeah, oh gosh, yeah, they did extremely well. I would say just how far the girls like went from like day one to day two in like getting to know each other and like you could tell from like day one, no one really wanted to cheer maybe for everybody. It was like, I don't know her. And then like the second day, it was like this girl won her first match and everyone was up off off the chair, super excited, screaming and yelling. And so I would say those are my favorite memories from being down there is just how close the girls got and how excited they got for one another.
Yeah, I gotta sit with your team a few different times, and it was fun to watch them grow as a team. And there's a couple duels that I watched, and even as they start, you could almost tell who was going to win the duel before any matches because your girls were excited and ready to go, and maybe the other teams were watching their phones. So
And I
yeah.
thought it was great. And then you could really see like on day two, like different girls stepping up to be like more of a leader on the team and
Hmm.
like kind of, oh, let's get up, let's get cheering. Like Destiny Brown was one of them. She was really, really great about getting up, wanting to get everyone cheering, pulling the team together. She was super great about that.
Yeah. Um, this isn't the first time you've built teams and gone places. What are some of the other times you've built teams for AAU or other events?
Twin Rivers is the only one I've really built a team for. Otherwise, I've just taken like three or four girls to different tournaments. But I've done Twin Rivers three times now. Building my own teams, going through having to figure out uniforms, figure out how registration works and everything. And so yeah, Twin Rivers three times, and then just taking a couple girls. We went up and wrestled at Junior Olympics. I had a couple girls up there, and just going to different tournaments.
Yeah, for those that don't know already, I'm talking with Josephine. It's Holstus. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Yep.
And you just got a new job. You now will be the head coach for a brand new team because they just split off from Ankeny, North Polk. Congratulations, first of all. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
So how did this all happen?
I saw that they had posted they were looking for a coach, and I've always heard good things about their community. I've obviously seen that they're very, very good at their sports. Like they expect a lot out of their athletes, and that was what I was looking for is somewhere where I can go and push my athletes, and that's what the community wants is for their teams to be good, to get better and better. And so I went and applied and just I connected with everyone right away in my interview. I remember a couple days later getting the call from the AD, and I was just like, "Yes, I'll take the job." And he was like, "I didn't even finish asking you," and I was like, "I'm so excited." And then just like our different fundraisers we've had and stuff, like I've just connected so well with everyone. So it's just I knew from the start going and meeting everybody that was where I wanted to be.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that you've done already will help in that building of that team. But what are some of the core values you're really thinking you're going to instill in these kids? What's the core value
Um,
of the team? Yeah.
Yeah, our biggest thing is going to be that goals can be set and we can meet them off and on the mat. That's my biggest thing I want to leave with my athletes that come through is no matter if it's a goal in life or wrestling, you're able to get there. Sometimes we have to give things up, like being on our phone at night at 11 o'clock at night scrolling on TikTok. We might have to give that up to be on the podium this next year or to reach this other goal you have. So that's my big thing with my athletes. It's just goal setting, and we reach those goals by being getting off our phone. Maybe we eat a little bit of a healthier diet, knowing that they are capable of anything that they set their mind to. It just might be you have to give up one of those other little things that doesn't mean as much to you as getting that goal.
And you really haven't had, this is a brand new team. You're brand new to the school. You probably don't know a lot about it, but what do you know about your North Polk team?
I know that I have a lot of girls that are ready. I have a lot of incoming freshmen. I have two juniors who wrestled at Ankeny last year. Coming in, they're super excited. They're ready to help the freshmen kind of get on a roll. But I know my freshmen are coming in. Junior high is a split season at North Polk, so they're super excited to have a full season. And they're all natural athletes. They're ready to put the work in. We have open mats already, and they're in there drilling all the time. They're super excited for season to start.
What are some, or I guess, have you been like working with the schedule, or did the AD kind of do all that, or have you had much to do with that?
Him and I have put it together. It's been pretty easy so far. We've gotten into the majority of what I wanted to get into. He's super open into just getting into whatever I want. I'm like, I want to get into this, and he's like, I'll make a phone call.
Awesome. And uh, one of the things I like doing is designing singlets. Did you get to design a singlet for this team?
Yeah, I got to design the singlets, or tops, or bottoms, and bags.
Awesome. That's fun. I enjoy doing that. And then every year I enjoy kind of coming up with a little different, same logos. Obviously our teams don't change, but I enjoy coming up with this next year's thing. Have you got a theme for next year or not?
Not yeah. I've kind of been looking at next year. We do final singlets, so I've kind of already started putting together final singlets. We have to have something that's really out there, wow, for the finals.
You have a lot of new athletes. You said 12 incoming freshmen,
Yeah.
and you said they're in there working. Um, but a lot of times, as coaches of a new team, new athletes, defining success, how will you define success with them?
So for me, I look at it as are we like they'll set personal goals and stuff. And are we reaching those? Are they feeling comfortable taking these new shots? Um, that's kind of how I look at my success, not really so much winning or losing as much as are we starting to feel comfortable taking shots? Are we feeling comfortable moving, using these new moves that we're learning? And that's how I'll look at it is are they actually improving in the small things? Which will get us then to the big things, especially with the freshmen. If they're able to start getting those little things down freshman year, we're going to be achieving huge things by their senior year.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Being a good coach probably means you've been coached by some good coaches. Sometimes I've been with some really good coaches, and then I've also learned from some really bad coaches too on what not to do. But who have been some coaches that you think have kind of helped build your foundation?
Brad Honnold from Nottoway Valley. He never coached me, but he's been a coach at Nottoway Valley since I was in high school. And so watching him, he gets super excited. He's really into everything, and that's how I am. I like even before I started coaching, I knew that's what I was going to be like as a coach. So he's someone that I really look up to, someone that I still reach out to this day. If I'm like, I have a question about this, he's like, oh, I got you. When Ryder Downey went and put on a camp at their school, I went there and just met with Brad and sat with him for a couple hours and we went over stuff. He's someone that I definitely look up to a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. And you're going to find throughout I mean, you've been around a lot of these coaches before, but it seems like the girls, the whole community is really helpful. So everybody's willing to help out. Even your biggest enemies on the mat will be super, super kind and helpful. You got to wrestle a couple years in college, a couple different spots. Chardon State first. You went out Chardon State as your freshman year, right?
Yes.
How's everything out in Chadron? I've been out there a few times. I had an aunt that lived there, so it's kind of a neat area. But
Yeah, I love it. I think it's beautiful out there. The drive to get out there is not so beautiful, going across Nebraska.
Yeah,
But
one of the worst drives ever.
yes. Otherwise, I think it's absolutely beautiful out there. I love my professors, which is why I went back online through there to finish out my degree because the professors out there are great. Um, I really liked it mostly because like they were super cool. Like my one class, like my professor was like, I don't feel like teaching today. I'll bring my dogs. We'll play with my dogs for the hour we're supposed to. I was like, deal. So no, I absolutely love it. The wrestling program out there was super great. They do have a new head coach again this year, so a new head coach every year for the last 3 years. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
but
that's
um,
tough.
yeah,
That's not being stable. That's really tough.
yeah. But I know the girls out there are super dedicated to it. They do with having a new coach every year, like they're still building a very good program and having great athletes come through.
Awesome. Then you spent a year at Simpson.
Yep.
And how was your experience in is that where is Indianola? Is that where
And you
they're
know
at?
what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. How was Indianola?
Yeah, I really liked it. It was great coming in, and I knew the boys coach very well from him running freestyle club when I was in high school, and I went to freestyle club there and him coaching. So I already knew him, so I kind of felt like I almost had like someone I already knew, was close to, had talked to before. But otherwise, I really liked it. I enjoyed my classes there. They just didn't have my major, so it kind of drove me away because I knew what I wanted to do, and not having my major just kind of was
Yep.
like, not quite what I want to do. But otherwise, like great athletes. I've made some of my best friends through Simpson and being on the women's wrestling team there. I have friends that I still talk to this day that I know have my back for anything and everything.
Nice. And then you went back to Chardon. You're going to finish your degree really soon, right?
Yes, yes, I will
Awesome.
graduate December 12th.
So what is our degree going to be in and what role do we hope to get?
My degree will be in interdisciplinary studies with a focus on strength and conditioning and fitness and wellness. And then I want to take up working in the weight room, and be a strength and conditioning coach. And then, yeah, that's what I want to do.
That's fine. And I think the time before I saw you last, well, you were your last name has changed since then. So now we have a family. Well, who's all in the family now?
So my husband's Colton Holthus. He's from Western Nebraska. He wrestled out there, and I met him when I was going to Chadron and just dragged him back to Iowa with me.
Nice.
Yeah, and then but otherwise, I have a brother who's a year younger than me who wrestled through high school. And then I have two younger sisters that are still in high school who are a junior and a senior who will be competing again this season for wrestling.
Very nice. Yes, I've met your sisters.
Yeah.
If I think you're the tallest by far, aren't you?
My brother's
Yeah,
taller than me, but otherwise, out of the girls by a
out
lot.
of the
Yeah.
girls. So I was gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
y'all kind of look alike, but you're definitely taller than they are.
Oh yeah.
Um, this is one question I have been asking some of the older coaches, and so you might have a little bit more insight on this. We don't get to touch the practice playlist, or who's going to be in charge of your practice playlist?
I always go back and forth on it. Last year, coaching, being the head coach at East Union, I went back and forth a lot. It was like one day one girl would do it and then I would do it. Or like if I was like, then by the end of the season though, they were like, you have some good music. We've never heard this. You should listen. And like I'm very like old school rock and stuff. I like dad rock. And so then they're like, this is good music. And so then it was kind of like, we want to keep listening to your stuff. Otherwise, like it's a good mix of both. Or I'll be like, let's just throw a mixed playlist.
You might have to send me. Are you on Spotify? Maybe you can
Yeah,
link me to your
Spotify.
playlist,
Yeah.
because I get just booed out of the. I don't even get to touch it anymore, and I was more of the hair bands, which I think is dad rock, grandpa rock. I've heard it referred to also, so yeah. So I never get to touch the playlist, but most of the other guys in my age, I got talking to Dustin Rowland the other day, and he's like, "No, don't get to touch it." Nick Heeman, nope, didn't get to touch it. So yeah, no, that you're
Oh,
lucky. You still have
yeah.
some probably have some street cred yet with your age. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, family pets. Do you got any pets?
Yes, I have two dogs and two cats. Um, my very first dog that my husband and I got, his name is Rowdy. He's a Great Pyrenees Australian cattle dog and collie mix. He's definitely one of a kind. He is not very smart. He has the cutest dog, so it makes up for it. Then we have Howdy. Howdy is a Great Pyrenees. He's huge. He weighs, I think, as much as I do.
Wow.
Yes. And then we have our first cat that we just got over a month ago, and his name is Wonton Whiskers. And then we have a girl cat that we just got like 3 weeks ago, and her name is Egg Roll.
Are the cats and dogs getting along?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It was not easy at first, but now like they'll all sleep in like a little pile together and they're besties now.
Nice. And so the big dog, what's the big dog's name?
Howdy. There's Howdy and
Howdy.
Rowdy.
Okay, so Howdy and Rowdy. I like that. Um, is he a big lap dog? Does he try to get on your lap?
Yes,
Yes.
they both do. They both do. Yes,
So,
they're Howdy's probably just over 100 pounds, and then Rowdy's like 80 some.
oh, so that's a lot of dog on a lap.
Yeah, and they get jealous of each other, so they both want to sit on your lap at the same time. And I'm like, you guys are like 200 pounds together.
That's a lot of fun. I love dogs.
Yes. Especially
Dogs are
like now
awesome.
having the cats, like the cats will sit on our laps and then they're like, oh, that means we can still.
Oh, fun. Food is what a great thing wrestlers all talk about and love. I'm going to start with the important stuff after weigh-ins. What do we have? I ate really bad after weigh-ins, but what are we having people eat now after weigh-ins? What are you going to tell your girls?
First we really stick with drinks, water. I always tell them water, water, water. That's got to be, we have to have water on us all the time. Um, because a lot of people do dehydrate some just getting down to weigh in. So we have to make sure we refuel. And then like Gatorade's okay, Powerade, stuff like that, but you got to look for something that's got less color to it. Otherwise just plain water, adding like mint, lemon, lime, something like that to it. Um, you can go with like the liquid IV. But those have a lot of like sodium to them. So like if you're doing back-to-back weigh-ins, I go against them. But otherwise, after that, you want to do some carbs. Um, so I always tell the girls like a protein wrap is good. You can get like a low carb one even with chicken in it. I personally always did like chicken, peppers, onions, stuff like that. And then lots of granola bars, goldfish or something that's good to snack on throughout like a meet or a tournament. Stuff like that. I'm making a whole list to give to my team this year. I've taken a whole bunch of nutrition classes in the last year to really get myself prepared to be able to give the girls the best nutrition advice that I possibly can.
Yeah, that's really important. That's one of the biggest changes in wrestling I think that I've seen is that whole nutrition aspect. And with 1 hour weigh-ins, you have to.
Mhm.
You know, there
Oh
is
yeah.
no more dehydrating yourself down to, cutting 10 pounds of water weight. That just
Yeah.
doesn't work. Doesn't work in an hour. And
No.
and at that time I used to weigh in and it would be 7 a.m. and we wrestle in the evening. So
Mhm.
my typically would have Mountain Dew and a Snickers bar. So not
That's what my
really,
uncle
not
tells me to do. But yeah,
not
that's what
good.
he does. But yeah,
So
otherwise, and then like a lot of fruits and stuff like that too are super
yeah.
good.
Well, I know you're into nutrition, you're into working out because you're going to work in a weight room or you want to work in a weight room. Um, but everybody's got that guilty pleasure food. What's yours?
Mm, pizza and ice cream.
Ice cream. What's favorite ice cream?
Um, Cookies and cream, probably. Pretty basic.
Pretty basic.
Yeah.
I'm an ice cream person. I absolutely love ice cream. So yeah, it should be its own food group and it should be one of the important ones also.
Oh, I agree.
Yes. So if I like this question because it helps me out. So when I'm traveling around Iowa, I get to figure out where I want to go eat. But it's date night. Where are you and your husband going to go out and eat?
Well, we just moved to Maxwell, so now we always go to, it's called Mom's. It's like kind of like a bar here in town. And that's always where we go. That's where we just went yesterday, actually. They have a super good chicken bacon ranch sandwich, and that's my go-to.
Nice, very nice. So how about where did you live in Des Moines prior?
Winterset before.
Winterset. So what's the place in Winterset to go?
Mm, we always just went to like Subway, or we drive up to Des Moines to like Olive Garden.
Okay.
Oh, I like Olive Garden. Mostly their
Very,
salad. I go there for their
very,
salad.
oh, I know. I could eat that salad all day long. I don't know
Oh, me
what's
too.
their dressing's fantastic.
I
Um,
agree.
I don't get to go many places other than for wrestling. Have you got to take many vacations, or maybe where was the honeymoon at?
Our honeymoon was in Alaska. We went there
Nice.
and we hiked like 38 miles or something. So not your typical on a beach honeymoon.
Uh-huh.
Ours was we packed our hiking stuff and we went and we hiked the mountains in Alaska. And we absolutely loved it. It was gorgeous. We had so much fun. But yeah, otherwise traveling, we don't do a whole lot of traveling. Like our 1 year anniversary was our trip down to Florida for wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Um,
We'll see if
Otherwise,
we
I have a
can't.
lot of.
I was gonna say I'll see if I can't accommodate that for you. Maybe make that a yearly thing for you,
Oh
and
yeah,
we'll
I
see
would
if we
like
can't
that.
work on that.
Yeah.
I think
Otherwise, I have definitely a lot of different places where I'm like, I want to go here. It just hasn't fallen with us moving this year was kind of rough, and so I'm hoping next year we can travel a little bit more.
so. What's on the bucket list? Where's the spot?
I want to go back to Romania. I went to Romania in 2022 and 2023 for World Team, or 2020, yeah, 2022 and 2023 for for Beach Worlds. And so I want to go back to Romania just to explore. They have like Dracula's castle there, and I want to go see it. I think it'd be so cool to go see. And then being there in Romania, I met people from Azerbaijan, and so
Uh-huh.
I want to go to Azerbaijan. Um,
Those all sound like awesome places. And I'm glad you brought up Beach Worlds because I almost forgot about that too. And I don't know what I did with my list and I screwed up. But Beach Worlds, and the reason I say this is there's a possibility next year on our Florida trip they might include beach wrestling for a day or a 2 day or something like that, that we might include that. How did you get involved in beach wrestling first?
it started by I was actually wrestling at Corn Cup. I think it was the last year they have it had it before COVID hit. And there was people from Illinois that we were sitting by, and they were like, "Oh, you should go try this beach wrestling tournament in Missouri." It was like Midwest Nationals or something for beach. And I was like, "Okay." And then they didn't have it that year due to COVID. And so 2022, they brought it back. And so I went and tried it. I won, and it was like, this is fun. Like, it's a lot
Mhm.
of upper body, not so much shooting. You're not scrambling really. And so then I found out World Team Trials was in North Carolina, and I was like, I have to go try. Like, the worst that's
Yep.
gonna happen is I don't make the team. Like, and so I went, and then I made the world team. And so then I went to Romania, and then I absolutely loved it. So then the next year I went back to world team trials, made both of the world teams for beach that year, and then went back and just loved it.
And what are some of the differences in the rules? I know I've watched it and sometimes I get kind of confused. I know it's like to first to three, right?
Yep.
So tell me the rules.
Yeah, so it's one period that's 3 minutes. Um, You can't hit your knees. They're kind of changing that rule a little bit, looking at it like you can hit your knee, but only for so many seconds, and you have to finish the takedown for it to count. But otherwise, if you hit a knee, your opponent gets a point. Takedowns are 1 point. So, like you said, it's first to three, which can go really fast. But if it's feet to back, it's 3 points, match over. So if you were to slip in the scene and fall on your back, you just lost.
Oh,
Or
wow.
like my suplexes, that was why I loved it because then my suplexes was just I just won.
Hmm.
Uh, and then yeah, if you're in tripod, there's no points until an elbow or knee hit or your head. If your head touches the sand, then your opponent gets a point. There's push out points still. And then say we get done with the 3 minutes and it's either tied or no one scored, so it's 0-0. Whoever weighed in the lightest wins.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, that was the weirdest thing to me. I was like, what?
So
Like,
that
how does
that
that
is
work?
an that is an interesting rule, but it does sound like fun and
Yeah.
just a little different pace, a little different rule set. I like it. I think it'd be really fun to do. Um, let's move on and let's find out some more stuff about you. Uh, TV shows. What are we binging right now?
I just got done with Grey's Anatomy. That is like the 15th, 17th time I've watched all of it. But there's a new season coming out on like October 9th, so I had to prepare myself for it.
You had to come back and
Yeah.
revisit all those things. I understand. Yeah, I would do the same thing. It's very important. Favorite wrestling shoe?
Nike Inflix, I would say.
Yep.
I like my Nikes.
I just got my very first pair of Inflicts and I absolutely love them already. So I don't know what I was thinking, not trying them out before, but man, they are comfortable and they're almost come broke in,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
really,
that was
really
my
cool.
favorite part about them. Yeah, I absolutely love them.
Um, was there a point in your wrestling career, and because it's too early in your coaching career to ask this question, so was there a point in your wrestling career that, made a huge impact and kind of changed the way you've thought about yourself?
Um, yeah. So my sophomore year is when I actually transferred to Martinsdale. I was at a school previous from there that I had been at from preschool on. And I had a coach. It was my first year going out for the high school, and we had a new coach at the school. And he was not a fan of girls being on the team. So I suffered a lot from that, being told, you can't even practice today. Like the boys have a meet. We don't think you're good enough to get the boys ready for tomorrow. And so I went through a lot of stuff with that, not being told I wasn't good enough. I shouldn't be allowed to be on the wrestling mat. Um, and so that just kind of made me feel like I have something to prove, which then went on with my career. And I just felt like I'm proving that I deserve to be on the mat. My senior year, I kept a varsity spot on the boys' team. And so I would say that would be the biggest thing is just I kind of learned and just told myself like I have something to prove, like for me, but then for all the other girls that want to go out also, because like there wasn't a lot of girls out around me, so like was a little bit newer for us. Like the closest other girl that was out around me was I think 45 minutes away, and then from that it was a couple hours, so it was like
Yeah.
not a lot of us. So I just felt like I had something to prove for myself, but then to also prove that all the other girls deserve to be out there too.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember back years. Well, you did not get an opportunity to wrestle at a sanctioned girls tournament, is that correct? But you did get to do IWCOAs. And
Yes.
did you do both the ones in Waverly and then into Corville?
I did my sophomore year was at Waverly and the junior senior year were at Coralville because my senior year was when they announced they were sanctioning it at state.
Ah, gotcha. So that puts and sometimes I forget where you guys are all at, and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So what was your experience like going from, not getting to wrestle very many girls and not that many, but boy, your senior year when they sanctioned, that was a huge tournament.
Oh
What
yeah.
was so how did you feel like, I guess, how did you feel like when those they said they're sanctioned and the number of people at that tournament?
Um, I I thought it was great. Like I know how much girls before I even went out put in work with the boys, how much I put in with the boys to get it to where we could be sanctioned and how much coaches did and everyone else involved. So then when they announced it was sanctioned, like it was a great feeling because I knew my sisters were both in junior high and they were wrestling on the boys side. And it was like they're gonna get like their own sport now. Like they're gonna be able to go against girls. They're gonna get coaches that want to coach the girls there we won't have as many coaches out there that don't want to coach the girls, and so these girls are going to get so many more opportunities. But like otherwise, like that tournament was huge, especially from my sophomore year when we were at Waverly competing
Hmm.
at state in their gym to there. It was huge. It was so great to see how many more girls were going out and just how many different schools supported it.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun to be at that tournament and be in those days. I absolutely still miss those days when, man, there was not that many people wrestling and we all knew each other, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh
miss
yeah.
those days. I'm happy where we're at because it's really cool to see the growth, but I do sometimes look back and go, God, that was really cool to know absolutely everybody wrestling.
Oh, I agree 100%. That's
Yeah.
going to state this last year as a coach. It was like there were so many people that I didn't know, but I look back on like my years in high school where I knew everybody, my coaches knew everybody. We were sitting down in the tunnels and we were all just chatting it up. We all
Yep.
knew each other and yeah.
Yeah. Different vibe, but still it's good. It's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
good. Let's go back to wrestling. What's your favorite takedown?
Mm, it depends, I guess, on what we're talking. If we're talking like freestyle or folk style.
One of
Because
each.
folk style, yeah, folk style, I would have to say a sweep single. And then freestyle, I'm more of a thrower. So I look for like my suplexes or even like inside outside trips, stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, folk style, sweep single, freestyle, either like a suplex or I do a fireman's where I sit through it, and I would say
Mhm.
that either like a sit through fireman's or suplex for freestyle.
Nice. So now we're definitely going to be talking folk for the next two things, and I will go back to freestyle here. But on top, how are you pinning, and how are you going to teach your girls to pin?
Um, I really went with more of like a farmer's or Iowa, depending on what you called it,
Hmm.
and then a chicken wing where you come across and you hook the opposite um shoulder and then you take it and you walk behind. Those are my
Yep.
top two on top.
Very nice. How are we getting away, or how you teaching them to get away?
Um, I did a lot of like tripods and then knee slide out. It was just a lot. I found success with it, uh, a lot of success with it on the boys' side. So then when I got to the girls' side, it just continued to grow and I found more and more success with it. So definitely just tripod and knee slide out. I think it's super easy.
That's
A lot of people
mm,
don't always know what they're doing breaking down a tripod.
Yeah. And then the other thing I found is that my girls really had a lot of success with it. And we found a few different variations of it last year. But then how many times have you gone for a stand up and your face gets planted? We don't have
Yep.
that out. And with girls, it's even different because the upper body strength difference. And so you get
Yep.
planted a lot. So that coming up first, yeah, it really helps out a lot. So I like it. Good place to start. So back to freestyle. How are we turning people in freestyle?
I normally did a lot of like, mm, I would hook legs and just cross face and tilt. And otherwise, I liked guts.
You're more of a gut.
Yeah, I liked laces till I got kicked in the face, and then I was like, I don't like laces anymore.
I can see where that might not be as much fun. Yeah. Um, there was way fewer people that you could look up to when you were coming up. But was there someone that you're like, wow, I really want to aspire to be like them?
I would say Chloe Lloyd was someone that like she was always just so nice to everybody, so I really really liked that. But then just like her dedication to everything um really like helped me grow and like I was like I want to be like that and then like her success in college and stuff as a female wrestler um really just helped me be like I can go do that too. So I would say Chloe Lloyd is probably the biggest female wrestler that I looked up to.
She'll probably be really happy to hear that. And that, yeah, today it's amazing how many like world team members and stuff that I mean, and we have access to it too
Ah,
now. You know, the man, there's some good wrestlers and it's really fun to watch. Through your career, is there one of those coaches' phrases that you hear still in the back of your head? Maybe even while you're coaching or while you're wrestling.
um I my coaches always told us like walk around like a champion, not don't walk around like all cocky, but walk around like a champion. Know that you're good because like if you walk around thinking like you're not good and stuff, like you're just already like losing a match before you go out there. And so like that was something my coaches always told us was like walk around like a champion. Like you know you're good, but there's no need to be cocky. Go out there knowing that you know your things, you know what you're doing, you know, when you go out there and your opponent does this, you're going to do this back. And so I would say that's the biggest thing is I always tell my girls like you guys all deserve this and like our coaches were always like you put in enough work to know that you're good. Like to
Nice.
know that you're gonna go and defend that move. You're gonna hit this takedown you want, and you're gonna get it. So I would say just walk around like a champion.
I like it. I like that a lot. Um, just a couple things left here, but you just got a new position with the NFHS and you get to make a rule change for wrestling. What rule change are you making?
I would probably make the biggest one and make high school girls wrestling freestyle.
Did you really enjoy freestyle a lot more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think it would just like going from folk style to freestyle, like it's not different. You're still wrestling, but like it's different. And so
Oh
like a
yeah.
lot of my teammates like had a lot of issues like in college transferring to it. So I think we would see like even better athletes in college if they started with it in high school. But yeah, no, I loved freestyle. I think people that don't like it are crazy. Um,
I think the thing I like about it most is I don't have to really work that hard on the bottom.
Yes, that's what I like. You're not stalling, but you almost get a like I get a breath down there for a second, as
Yeah.
long as I don't have like a tight gut on me or something. Then I get
Yeah.
a and like I'm not trying to hit. And I think it's easier to teach. Like you're only teaching a couple like how to defend a couple things on bottom. Otherwise, it's like how do you move on bottom? You're not teaching 30 different moves from bottom to stand up and then another 30 different on trying to defend moves.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah, so I would make the biggest change of all. Make it freestyle, make high school girls wrestling freestyle.
All right. Um, you're gonna be, well, you're almost ready to graduate, so I'm sure you're good at filling in the blank here. Wrestling has taught me to blank.
Wrestling has taught me to continue to push through even when times get tough. No matter if it's on the mat, with me working out by myself now, with school, no matter what it is, wrestling taught me like if I kept pushing through, I was going to get through and there was something better on that side. Like going through all the hard practices made it so then I made a world team that I was able to wrestle in college. So I would say, yeah.
Very nice. I like it. And then the last thing I always do, I give you a little bit of time for some final thoughts. Anything you want to let everybody know what's on your mind.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Um, Be ready for North Polk girls wrestling to take off. The girls are ready, the community's ready. We're ready to make a name for ourselves. The girls are ready to show what the program can do. We're stepping up. We're going to some bigger tournaments this year, so it will be exciting to see kind of how the girls do.
All right.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm excited to see that too. I definitely look forward to maybe running into you somewhere. I don't know your schedule yet. Maybe we can talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
We're a little all over the place.
we'll definitely see you. We'll see you down in Coralville at the end of the year though.
Yep, and we'll be at Coralville for Donnybrook too if you guys are.
Oh, no, I'm not there. Cost me too much money. So you got a good AD. But I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
go ahead and we'll get out of here. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.